What's good YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to create this collage rotoscope effect inside After Effects. We're going to be rotoscoping our subject and have the background constantly changing with different footage within its original scene. I saw it in this Young Metro music video and I thought it looked really dope, so I wanted to show you guys how to create that in this video. So here in After Effects, I have a clip from the Breathe music video, and right underneath it, I have 7 different clips that I cut from that same music video, and we're going to be using 7 different footage in order to create that background effect where it's kind of like a collage and it's just constantly changing within the scene. In order to get started, make sure you have your 7 different clips that you selected from your music video, and what I'm going to do is just first change the colors just to make it easier for me to indicate. What we're going to do is first rotoscope our subject and have different footage constantly playing in the background until it reaches the end where it cuts to its original scene. We're going to double click our layer, grab the rotobrush tool. Actually, before I even rotoscope my subject, I'm going to add a curves effect to this layer just to make it easier for me to see my subject, because our subject is in a darker environment. So I'm going to just add a curves effect to this layer and bring up the values. Once I'm done rotoscoping, I will eventually delete that curves effect. But we're going to now rotoscope our subject, double click the layer, grab the rotobrush tool, and in order to make your brush bigger, you hold the control button and left click and just drag your mouse, and that will either make the rotobrush bigger or smaller. If there's any unwanted parts that you didn't want, you hold the alt button and left click and just drag over it, and that just gets rid of any of the unwanted parts that you didn't want to rotoscope. So I'm going to now rotoscope my subject. After going frame by frame, in order to check that everything was accurately rotoscoped the way you want it to, you want to then click the freeze button, and what that's going to do is lock in our rotoscope subject. After clicking the freeze button, we're going to then go back into the composition, delete the curves effect for that layer. I'm also just going to turn off all the layers underneath for now, and then I'm going to turn on the transparency grid. I'm going to decrease the shift edge to -50, increase the feather to 8, just to make the edges of our subject feel smoother. Turn on all the layers underneath. And now, in order to create this background collage effect, what we're going to do is make sure that every single layer is a different length, because if we have all the layers at a same length, for example, if all these layers were like 3 or 4 frames, it just wouldn't look good because everything would just cut at the same time. So what we're going to do is have some layers be like 4 frames or 6 frames or 10 frames. It's going to be random, but that will definitely make the effect look better as the length of each layer will be different. So what I'm going to do is, for the first layer, I'm going to make that one 7 frames long, and I'm just going to go forward 7 frames. I'm going to add a marker on the timeline which indicates where the cut will happen. In order to add a marker, you can click the star signal on your keyboard, or go to layer, go to markers, click add marker, or just click that star signal on your numpad. And then I'm just going to turn off all the layers above for now. Make this first layer 7 frames long. For the second layer, what I'm going to do is just bring that forward from where the cut happens from the first layer. For the second layer, I'm just going to make that 5 frames long. Add a marker, cut that layer to 5 frames long, and there's no specific number when it comes to how long each of these frames are. I just want certain layers to be a longer number of frames than others. So for the third one, what we're going to do is just drag that forward, and I'm going to have this one be 6 frames long. Make sure to cut that footage and make it 6 frames long. For the fourth layer, I'm going to have that one be 10 frames long. In order to go forward 10 frames, you can hold the shift button and click the page down button on your keyboard. Make sure to cut that footage. And then for the fifth layer, I'm going to have that one be 7 frames long. Make sure to add a marker, and then go forward 7 frames, add the marker, cut this layer and make it 7 frames long, and then bring the 6th background layer, bring that forward from where the cut happens from the 5th layer. For this layer, I'm going to have it 14 frames long, add a marker. For the 7th layer, I'm going to have that one be 8 frames long. Turn on the rotoscope layer, and right when all the background layers are finished playing, I'm going to have our rotoscoped subject cut to its original scene. In order to do that, I'm going to duplicate this layer, bring that layer underneath, and delete the rotobrush effect for that layer, and I'm going to cut this layer from where the 7th background layer ends. I'm going to have it like that. Right when that background collage effect ends, it cuts back to its original scene. So now if I play this, we have that collage effect going on in the background, and then it cuts to its original scene towards the end. And that is all I have for now. If you guys found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.